Alright, let me just use my Honda Grom as a workbench as if I don't have a table sitting right there. Oh god, that's all dirty too. I better clean that too. Uh-oh. What's up guys, Crazy Cam Kalani here. So I just got myself this little Traxxas Sledge here. So there's one specific thing I want to do to it. There's a little problem, and we got a little solution for it. Basically with these tires... Oh wait, I better prepare for it. Oh. Basically on these tires here, it's related to venting. I'm sure some of you may or may not know about this, but... Oh, wait, this wheel nut wrench doesn't work. Hold on. Wow, I didn't realize the toolkit only comes with these two little tools here. Okay. Alright. But as I was saying, we got one little problem and one little solution related to these tires here. When they're spinning at speed, stuff like that, when this thing's capable of, I think it's like 60 or 70 miles an hour or something like that, when it's going full speed, these tires want to expand. They want to get bigger because they're not sealed up in any way, and they're not belted or anything. So these tires, when they spin up, they want to balloon like crazy. The way the manufacturers get around doing this stuff is they put a little hole right here. So basically you can see right on the inside of the wheel next to that spoke, there's a little tiny wheel sitting right there, or a little tiny hole sitting right there in the wheel, and then same on the other side. So basically what happens, the only problem with that is when these tires go up to balloon and expand and everything, if you go in the dirt or water, stuff like that, all that dirt and water is going to get into those little holes, and then that stuff is sitting inside the tire. It makes the foam degrade, stuff like that, and you blow up your tire. That's why that's usually the big reason why a lot of people blow their tires on stuff like this. So basically what we want to do is we want to put a hole in the tire itself instead, and then we also plug up this hole there basically. So what we're going to do, a couple tools here. Basically it's under 20 bucks to do all this stuff. So all you need is a little piece of brass tubing. So this one's a 532. I think you could do like an 1/8 of an inch. It doesn't have to be super huge. Basically what we're doing is we're going to use an X-acto knife to sharpen this up, basically to cut a hole in the tire itself. Actually, we do need a drill too. Let me grab that too. Alright, so we're going to need a drill, an X-acto knife to sharpen the brass tubing itself, a little bit of duct tape, and to make your life easier, you don't necessarily need something like this, but this is basically just a little cutter for the tube, so basically you don't need a super long thing. This will just make it a big pain in the butt, so just using that little cutter to shorten it up a little bit does make the job a little bit easier. Also, over time, the more you use this stuff, basically the brass tubing itself starts to kind of fray out a little bit, and then you just want to cut it every once in a while just to kind of freshen it up basically, so it keeps the cut sharp, because that's the most important thing. Basically the reason why the companies themselves don't do this is if you do get that hole wrong, you will blow your tire basically. So you want to do it properly basically. So yeah, let's get started. Totally didn't just have to buy this stuff just because I forgot it or anything. No, that's definitely not what happened. But yeah, basically I just bought this stuff from a little hardware store down the street, and I got it for, I think it was like 20 bucks for everything. This little cutter thing is like 10 bucks. This guy was like $2 for the piece of tubing, you know, different thicknesses or different cost, stuff like that. And then of course the Gorilla Tape too, I had to buy some of that. I definitely didn't lose anything for sure. But yeah, basically you could do this stuff for under, or like 15 bucks basically, yeah. Just if you get just the cutter and the tubing, you probably already have an X-acto knife and a thing of duct tape around at home. So basically what you do is you spin this thing to tighten it up, and then you just kind of keep rolling it, and then basically it's going to start cutting that tubing. You just go a little bit at a time, keep spinning it, all that fun stuff, not monotonous at all. There it is. Woohoo! But yeah, basically what that does is it makes a nice clean cut there. It does kind of squish the stuff as well, so it does make it a little... you do have to kind of resharpen it a couple times, but basically what you do once you get that cut to length, you throw it in the drill here. Doesn't really matter what kind of drill or anything like that, but basically what we want to do is we want to get the X-acto knife to sharpen this little drill here, or sharpen the little brass piece here. So basically you want to get spinning there and just let it rip. Oop. Nope, not like that. I was just showing you what not to do. So basically just spin it up, and then you can see the little flakes coming off. Basically this is just sharpening the brass tubing, and you can see right there it's a little shiny on the inner side there, and that's exactly what you want to do. So basically you're making it super sharp, and there you go. And then once you get your tubing sharpened up, all you got to do is find a spot to do it. So you want to go basically in between the treads. That's where I usually do it. Don't know exactly where I want to do it here. Probably just right there. So basically what you want to do, you want to get it spinning up. Try to go as close to the middle as you can, basically. And there you go. Push it in until it goes through. Keep spinning it the entire time, and there you go. You got that perfect little hole. It doesn't have to be exactly perfectly centered. The more centered, the better, basically. But you can see now there's a little hole in the tire. So basically anytime any kind of water or dirt gets in the tire, which it shouldn't once we plug the holes, it'll come out of here basically, and then the tire still has the room to balloon, stuff like that. And there you go. And then you want to get it right on the other side. Doesn't really matter how many you do. I like to do 2 personally. Oop. Actually, you do need to pay attention to this as well. It does like to leave little chunks of tire in there, so basically you got to make sure those are out or else it won't cut. Don't ask me how I know that. But basically right there, I usually do 2 holes 180 degrees from each other. You could do kind of as many as you want. Some people do like 4 or 5. I feel like that's a little too much. For me, 2's been perfect, and there you go. Cool. And you just got to do that to all the other tires. It's easier with it off the vehicle, of course. So basically just right there. And then just make sure it's clean. There you go. Alright, so get the one hole there, the one on the other side. Cool, 2 down. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. Doesn't take very long at all, but it's a good way to kind of keep precautionary measures here, so you know you're not going to blow up your tires. All right, cool. There we go. All right, 3 down, 1 to go. Go. Easy enough. And final one. Oop, where's my hole? There it is. That one right there. Cool. Alright, so that's how you vent your tires, and then all you gotta do is just use a little bit of duct tape. Oop, let me drop stuff here. Alright, so now what we got to do is plug up the hole in the wheel itself so we don't really get anything inside of the wheel. But if it does somehow find its way in there, it's just going to come straight out through the wheel like we were saying before. So basically, you just got to get a little piece of duct tape, cut them with your Spring Chef scissors. Weird rebranded Amazon scissors here. And then all you got to do is just find that hole and plug it up. So basically the problem is, what you could normally do is you could just plug up the holes, but then once you do that, the tire isn't really going to have the room to expand, and if the air does somehow get in when it's going to form a vacuum basically when the tires go to expand and everything. If you just plug up the hole there, that's the only, that's like the path of least resistance, so it's just going to plug it, it's just going to pull itself straight through the duct tape, and it's going to like poke a hole in the duct tape. That's how I had that happen. I found that out the hard way basically. But yeah, all you got to do is throw a little hole in the tire itself and plug up the wheels, then you're good. Then basically you're never going to have any problems when you're going through sand, dirt, water, whatever, it doesn't matter. Keep the debris out of the tire and keep those foams on the inside of the tire safe. So also, if you do these on used tires, just make sure you clean up the surface area too, because the duct tape won't stick if you don't if you don't care for it properly, basically. So, I like doing it on brand new tires because you know they're going to stick pretty well. Also, it's just super easy to do. It takes you like 5 minutes to do this, so it's just a good peace of mind thing. You know you're not going to get any problems if you go through water or whatever. Oh, thanks for the commentary. Living right next to a dog grooming place is kind of cool. Alright, and we're all done here. Big thanks to my Grom for being a little workbench here. So yeah, basically all we gotta do is go bash with them now, basically. So yeah, what we did here, just a little recap. What we did is we poked a little hole in the tire itself, and then we plugged up the holes in the wheels. Doesn't really matter what it's on. This is specifically on a Traxxas Sledge. It really doesn't matter what vehicle. You could do it on literally anything RC. Probably not on those belted tires because those things aren't going to balloon anyway. So yeah, any kind of normal RC car non-belted tire should work for this. So it's a pretty universal strategy to do here. I do it on basically all the new RCs I get. I've been doing it for a couple years now. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.